Hi everyone, today I want to share a new stamp set. This is from the online exclusives section of the online store, and it's a new stamp set. It's a pretty floral. I really liked it because this is kind of my favorite shape of flower. I love cosmos, which is a little different, well, similar, and I love daisies and sunflowers, and there's just these long petals, and I like stamps that I can color. Now I know a lot of you don't like, well, not a lot. I know a couple ladies who do not like to color at my stamp camps. So this one is kind of fun because you can use filler stamps or color. And I was playing around with it the other day, and I was going to make a card to bring to a gathering with a couple of my demonstrator friends, and I did this one really fast because it didn't require any coloring. It didn't have to try to match up the outline to the inside, so there's no outline, it's just the stamps. So this is the easiest peasiest way to use this stamp set. But then it got me thinking when I came home the next day. I thought, okay, well, wait a minute, let's see if I like doing other things. So then I kind of went down the rabbit hole. And so this one is like a little too heavy on the black ink here, but this is using the filler stamps to color it in. And then I thought, what does it look like in pink? So then I did pink. And then I thought, well, here's just no filler stamp, just the outline again like I did on the card. And then I thought, what about pencils? Coloring it in with watercolor pencils, which I love my watercolor pencils from Stampin' Up, so I wanted to try it like that. But then I thought, okay, what about pink watercolor pencils? What about markers? So these are just this is Stampin' Blend markers. This is, I think, watercolor pencil again. Then I thought, what if I went on watercolor paper and stamped it and then kind of used water to kind of blend it out so it looked more watercolor. I just kept going and going. Here's a pink one I haven't finished because I forget what I was doing then. And then I thought, what would it look like on crumb cake? And I love pencils on crumb cake paper because pencils are nice on a darker cardstock because the pigment sits on top of the paper, and then you get some of the color. You can sometimes use it on deeper colors too. It just kind of depends. You have to play around with it, or you can put a base layer of white pencil down first and then color on top, and you can get bright flowers that way. So crumb cake or any colored cardstock is really fun with the pencils. So these are both watercolor color pencils from Stampin' Up. And then this is markers on crumb cake. This one is Stampin' Blends, the alcohol markers from Stampin' Up. And then this one is just our traditional Stampin' Write markers, the water-based markers from Stampin' Up. And that's on crumb cake. So you can still get some color. Some colors still show up. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute, we have that new neutral basic beige. So then we have watercolor pencil. This is regular marker, and then this is the alcohol blends marker, Stampin' Blends. So anyway, let's make this card. So I could do coloring demonstrations forever. I love them so much, but I think I'm going to just, for this purposes of this one, because I don't want my video to be too long, I'm just going to do filler and no filler on this one, and then maybe I'll do a different video with coloring. So for this card, I'm going to do the black outline, and I'm going to use Memento ink. And I'm just going to stamp it right there. Now this piece is basic white, and it's cut at 2 1/4 by 4. This one I'm not going to use the outline, so I'll show you both ways. So I'm going to put away this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the pieces. This one is the leaves, and I'm going to do that in Old Olive. I think that's what I grabbed. Now I don't see it. As usual, my desk is amazingly messy. There it is. I have all the pencils out and everything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. Now it was fairly easy. The problem on doing it on video is that I'm going to have to put my head kind of over, so hopefully my hair's not too much of a mess. It's just kind of in a giant ponytail right now. So it's pretty easy to line up, but I'm trying to not put my head completely under the camera. So hopefully I do a pretty good job. I did not do a good job, but that's gonna have to be because I am over the side here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do it on this one. So I'm gonna flip it, do it again, and I'm just gonna have to put my head in the camera. Or I'm just gonna pull it down here, because you won't be able to see it anyway. My head's gonna be in the way. Got that. Now I'm going to do the flower part, and I kind of feel like this one has pink ink on it right now. Let me switch it up. I like pink for these flowers, and I like yellow, and I have my yellow sitting right here. So, and I tried it with crushed curry, looks really pretty, and this is Daffodil Delights, what I was using last, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. Sorry again for my head. Okay, actually that one turned out perfectly. And then I'm going to do it again over here. Okay. Now I've got, now I just re-inked this, so it's pretty juicy, and see how it's got a little unevenness. I'm going to tell you one way you can do that is get a spoon, and a plastic spoon or something, and kind of move the ink around so it's less juicy. Or you can even use your Stampin' Blends to ink up your stamp. Let me grab one, and I will show you what I mean. Too light. I'm making all the mistakes with you today. Well, this is actually going to help me rub my ink into my ink pad here. So maybe a darker color is better with this technique, but let's try it one more time. I bet this is going to be just as light. Pretty light. It is a nice even. It is nicely evenly inked, but it's pretty light. So there's my little play around with that idea. Let's try. It's so pretty. I'm gonna try some crushed curry. Ooh, this ink pad's really juicy too. I wonder if I can line it up on top of that one. It's like a, all right, new piece. It's just softer. It just gives you a softer image when you use the blending brushes. Okay. So I've got that, but we're just going to use these two for now. And then you've got this little one. This would be cute as a jelly bean. If you need some jelly bean stamps, you've got this little guy. I should make a jelly bean card. All right, again, pardon my head coming down here. All right, so we've got two different versions of the same stamp, and I think they both look great. I think can't decide if I like the black outline or if I like the filler, but I thought what was really fun when I made this card was coloring it in. So I'll do a coloring video also. I just thought it was such a beautiful little stamp, and I like the way the sentiments kind of are going down like this, and I thought that was pretty too. And I love this little bee. So on the inside I put one of the sentiments and the cute little bee, and it's just a sweet little fast and easy, quick and easy card. And especially if you do it this way without any coloring, this is super fast. So I'm going to put that together. I'm using Night of Navy as my background, and then this paper with the pattern on it, the navy pattern, is actually from the one with the airplanes. All those airplanes and clouds and things. It's just one of the back sides. It's called Take to the Sky, and the front sides have like these kind of vintage maps and airplanes and stuff, but the back sides are a lot of these plaids, and I really like sometimes looking at the back sides of my paper, because sometimes I think I don't have a navy pattern, and I did have a navy pattern. It was just in an unexpected place. So I cut this piece down a little bit so that I would still see some of the navy around. This I said was 2 1/4 by 4. So then this one is 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to glue that down on top. And put that down. I'll do this one. So I needed a couple thank you cards. I had some orders this week, or last week actually, so they're going out a little late. I had a crazy busy week. This month has been crazy busy for me. So March is just that way, I think. All right, and it's not over. I still have a wedding this weekend. Okay, so now we have some ribbon. This ribbon is part of a 2-pack. It comes with petal pink and then this white, and it's got this little diamond pattern. It's really nice. It's not too big. Now it's a little thicker of a cotton or whatever that is, synthetic, I'm not sure. And so I am not going to do a bow this time. I'm just going to tie a knot because I don't want it to be too bulky. I'll try and tie that pretty tight to avoid some bulk, and trim my ends. And then I wanted to add this cute little bees. These bees are adorable. They were out of stock for a while, but whoa, but they're back and they're so cute. If you have the older bees were bigger. In fact, I think I have some on my desk because I grabbed the wrong case when I was trying to get these out. Let's see, maybe I put them away. They're a little bigger. They were cute too. And these are just the tiniest little bees, and they're so sweet. I love them. All right, where are my dimensionals? And then to get that bee down, I used a glue dot, and I have some right here from a paper pumpkin kit. So I'm going to use those. And what I do is I kind of crumple them up. So I put the glue dot down and remove the backing, or if you're using the ones off the roll, you don't have to do that. And I just kind of crumple them up by pushing on them to make them smaller, because this bee, like I said, is tiny. And then I will put the little bee right there on the glue dot. Now on the inside, I've got a piece of basic white, and then when I cut this down, I always end up with those long strips. So I've got this strip here, and what I like to do with that is put it right there on the end. But first I want to put my sentiment in here and that cute little bee. So cute. Thought I would add a little bit of yellow to my bee and glue this down. And now I've got a card I can send out. Super cute. I love this stamp set. I think that it is just fun, and I hope that you will take a look at it. Like I said, it's on the online exclusives, and the bees are back in stock for those of you waiting on those bees. And there you have it. And like I said, this was a really fun one to color, so I'm going to keep making cards, but I'm going to make them with all these that I already did. Look at this one. I don't know what my background's going to be for this one yet. I don't know if I'm going to go with navy or something completely different. And they're all just so fun. I love the pink. That one was really fun. These are the watercolor pencils. This one I got to finish. This one was watercolor. Look at that pink. Pink is beautiful. All right. I just couldn't stop myself. I just kept going and going and going. I have so many. I'll be making cards all night. So I wanted to show you the basic one and get you started. And if I make some more in time for today, or maybe tomorrow, I'll have some chance, I'll show you. And I thought maybe I would do the coloring also to show you how to get some darks and lights with that. It's just so much fun with those colored pencils. So I'll show you that in another video. I just didn't want the video to be so long. So take a look at You Are Remarkable. It doesn't have any dies or anything. It's just a standalone stamp set, and it's a really great one to have in your collection. Thanks for watching. Bye.